Hello, Skelevaderites and friends of Skelevader, and those of you who are just curious to find out who today's weekly weirdo is. I'm really excited to present today's character or today's figure or today's toy. But first, let's see who's in the chat. There's several of you already in there, anxiously awaiting what I'm going to present today, which is cool to see. We got John Figuratively Speaking here. That's awesome. Great to see you. Fantastic to see you. He's saying, hello, beautiful people. That's awesome. Eldor, Masterversal Toy Hunter 8. That was a great conversation the other night. Thank you so much, Eldor, for having me on. I love talking with you, man. And that was a lot of fun. Largo's Lair. Hey, Largo. Great to see you here. Fantastic. Good to see you. Skelevator, good to see you here. Just asking, folks in the chat, hey, anybody have any clues based on the thumbnail who today's weekly weirdo might be? No guesses yet. Carole Geis, great to see you here. Awesome. And the one and only Oz, fantastic. Great to see you. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, folks, just like Oz says. Bobby, great to see you, man. The one and only Bobby is here. Fantastic. Bobby Dangerously now, folks. All right. And Aaron, Payne's Toy Samples, great to see you. Fantastic. Thanos Copter, man, you're all showing up for this one today. I think there's something special in the air regarding today's weekly weirdo. We've got Cobweb Collector, great to see you. And we got JMax77, fantastic to see you here. Man, so anyways, I think I got everybody. It's great to see you all. Thank you so much for being here. If you're in the chat, or if you're watching and you're in the chat and you haven't chimed into the chat, feel free to do so. It's a welcoming community, and I'd love to hear from you all. While I take a sip from my Toy Frenzy pint glass, anybody have any guesses as to what today's weekly weirdo might be? Have a look at that thumbnail again. And if you're interested in a Toy Frenzy pint glass, the shop link is right down below. You like that? Bobby, like that plug? Yes. Water tastes great when it's in a Toy Frenzy pint glass. Also, that beautiful design, Oz did that. And it's one of the first things he designed for the Frenzy, and it is beautiful. An amazing logo. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky to have Oz, such a talented guy. Bobby, amazing. Sean, Battle Ram blog, Adam, man, everybody who participates in the Toy Frenzy with me. And also just want to say, yes, Thanos, water is the best beverage, 100%. I talk about that a lot in the house. It's almost so much so it's a little annoying. All right, so any guesses? No guesses. Here's another clue. Water. Water. That's another clue. All right. No more messing around. We'll get to it. Today's weekly weirdo is one of these guys. I just said water. I have an interesting clue on the thumbnail. I wonder which one it might be. And it's surprising, actually, when I was telling our daughters about today's weekly weirdo, and they were like, "Wow, I'm surprised you haven't done that yet." So yeah, I've already done creature, and it's so funny because I feel like this person should have been presented before creature even. I mean, I've loved Creature from the very first moment I saw him, but similarly, I love this character too from the very first moment. Oz looks like Kappa, yeah, for sure. And or Kappa, Kappa or Kappa. Um, and yep. All right, everyone. Today's weirdo is the one, the only, one of my favorite characters from Masters of the Universe, has been since the very, very beginning, MER-MAN. And yeah, right. Okay, Kappa. Okay, good. All right. Yeah, I was surprised too. Everyone here in the household was surprised that I hadn't done it yet. I think part of me is waiting for Mattel to give us a MER-MAN that honors the MER-MAN in Masterverse, a Masterverse MER-MAN that honors the MER-MAN that I fell in love with as a kid. The Revelation MER-MAN is a great design, but as a huge MER-MAN fan, I still haven't purchased one. It just doesn't quite do it for me. It's not quite the same. It doesn't quite accomplish the MER-MAN thing. And that's okay, right? It's, for me, that's all right, because there's plenty of other MER-MANs. I'm going to go in order of the MER-MEN that I have in my collection, from the order of, like I usually do, what did I buy first and add to my collection first. That's right. That's right, Eldor, MER-MAN. So the very first, so MER-MAN has always been a character that, you know, it's funny because I talk a lot about how much I love Beastman. I didn't have Beastman as a kid. I did have MER-MAN. And for many years, if you were to ask me who my favorite Masters of the Universe character was, it would be MER-MAN. But I feel like over the years, I've realized that there's certain aspects of Skeletor and certain aspects of Beastman that have sort of risen him above a little bit, and Evil Lyn as well. But MER-MAN is right up there in my top 4 favorite Masters of the Universe characters: Beastman, Skeletor, Evil Lyn, and MER-MAN. It's like that for me. I love Trapjaw too, but he's just, I don't know. There's something about those 4 that really, really just appeal to me in a visceral way. And it's funny because Trapjaw was the first character that I ever purchased with my own money. He was my first love, really. He's still up there, you know. Honestly, it's like it's tough. And you talk to me next year, or you talk to me a week from now, I might say Trapjaw is my number 1. I don't know. You know, it's just always those. The Evil Warriors are always fluctuating. Who's at the top? I mean, last year at this time, I would have said Stinkor all the way, 100%. 2 years ago, I would have said Beastman. 3 years ago, I would have said MER-MAN. So it's always fluctuating. Trapjaw, when the Trapjaw Masterverse New Eternia Masterverse figure comes out, I'm sure that he'll move on up a little bit. And that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a New Eternia MER-MAN that gives us aspects of the design that we all love. The MER-MAN that I first fell in love with as a kid was not the vintage action figure. It was the card back art, because I saw that first. And so I'm going to go in, I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm going to go with who I bought first in my current collection. It's funny because when I first started collecting again, seriously, it was right around the time that this guy came out, and he was absolutely essential. The Filmation style Club Grayskull MER-MAN, and he's actually the first one I added to my collection, my current collection. I did briefly have a classics version that came out right around the time that it came out, but out of some silly, whatever silly reason in my, you know, in my in a moment of desperation or whatever, I got rid of it. But this is the first one I added to my collection to be like, this is certainly the figure that I'm going to keep. And this is the Filmation Merman. But funnily enough, funnily, is that a word? Humorously, my first favorite was this one. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to get to it though. This is my second favorite design of Merman. And when I saw that first action figure come out, I was like, where's the cardback Merman and where's the Filmation Merman? But at the same time, I love that action figure design too. So when this came out, I was super excited. And this is a masterpiece. Honestly, this is a piece of art. Yeah, let's see what people say. The new Eternia line. Hey, El Tenda, great to have you. The new Eternia line does rule. And I mean, goodness gracious, the figures we've gotten from the new Eternia line have been incredible. Some of them. There's a few that I'm like on the fence, but I really do like. I know that Merman's going to be spectacular if and when he's finally released. I'm actually pretty surprised that we haven't gotten him yet. But yes, Bobby, I know you're a huge fan of this one. This is definitely one of my favorites. I'm anxious to see what the Origins style Filmation Merman will look like if and when he's ever released. But this is a masterpiece of toy making. He's really spectacular and so accurate to the cartoon in color too. The next one that I purchased. Oh, and we got Speaking Moistly here. Great to see you. Fantastic. Oh, look at who's the character on Speaking Moistly's icon. Oops, pointing at the wrong place. Look at that. Good. Nice. And Thanos Copter, yes, this is an awesome merman. In fact, he's, if I were to vote on, which is, out of my top 5 favorite action figures that I own in the collection, he's definitely part of it. Your funnily is definitely a word. Why does that sound weird? That just sounds like I don't know. Some words, they don't sound right. Thank you, J Mac. And all right. And so Oz is saying, I'm hoping he has more of that red face look from the card back in New Eternia. I hope they get a little bit of that in there for sure. The next one that I purchased was the Reaction. So my first 2 figures in my that I added to my collection, my serious collection, were these 2 mermen. This is the Merman with the, of course he has the toy inspired face, but the Filmation colors. And this is a Super 7 Reaction. So Super 7, you win when it comes to my Mer-Man collection because I bought my first 2 figures from you. But I really do love this. I really do love the Reaction figures. I know, really do love them. And I did get a very good, Oz, I did get a very good deal on this, just letting you know. I know that era of getting good deals from Big Bad Toy Store on Masters of the Universe figures is nearly done. But I do think there are a couple of figures left on there that you can get for like $6. The next one, I was like, okay, I got to do it. I got to order the vintage figure. And this is, of course, as you all know, if you watch this channel, this is not the figure from my collection as a kid. This is, I bought him off of eBay. And he's in excellent condition. He came with his sword. This is a little loose, but that's pretty common. But I even though the Mer-Man face sculpt did not match the card back and did not match the cartoon, as a kid, I still love this design. And I will always love that design. It's a spectacular toy design. I'm very happy to have him. And when I added him to my collection, he's one of the first vintage figures that I repurchased for myself. So it was an exciting moment to open that box and have Mer-Man again. Yeah, that's true. I lucked out. And this is right around the time, I mean, it's funny, this is recent history, but right around the time where the figures were still quite affordable. I think I got him for like $4. And yeah, Oz is saying every time I see the reaction version, I think jelly-eyed Kraken now. Yeah, ruined you or or added to your love for them. For me, jelly-eyed Kraken, folks, if you haven't gone to check out jelly-eyed Kraken's Instagram page, definitely do that. I love it. Those the he does these little comic strips. I guess we could call them comic strips. You flip through the images on Instagram and it has sort of a tell. He has his reaction figures telling a kind of story. He really loves Merman and Stinkor. So Merman and Stinkor, I think, are in almost every one of them. And the humor is really kind of oddball humor, and you can either the joke is either subtle or it's overt, but it's a little bit strange, and the scenarios are kind of odd, and I just love them. I think they're fantastic. So he has not ruined my feelings about the reaction figures. He's actually added to my love for them. So thank you, Jelly-Eyed Kraken. I do love your page. Thanos is like, same Oz. I don't know. I just love. If you follow that channel, follow that Instagram page, there's something special about it. And so the next one that I purchased was the Origins re-release of Mer-Man, and I was really excited that they released him in. They really kind of, it's just sort of a brighter version of the vintage colors. Everything about Origins is brighter, which I do kind of love. Got to admit, I do love it. Masters of the Universe drew me in with their colors from the very beginning, and now the colors are even more extravagant in the Origins line. And they did in the Origins line give him the green belt, which is cool. My vintage Merman does not have that. He has the orange belt. But I'm really happy about my Origins Merman, and I know people were having a difficult time finding him, so I feel I lucked out. I did actually find him in the store, which was cool. I think, yeah, I think so. I think I did. And then the next one I purchased was also the Origins, and this is the Lords of Power Merman design, which as a kid, we always wanted this card back art face design, the face design that showed up in the earliest mini comics, and I'm just so happy that they didn't keep this release just to a PowerCon exclusive. I think it was a PowerCon exclusive, or maybe it was a Comic Con. No, I think it was PowerCon exclusive. I'm glad that they released him to the public and let us have a Lords of Power Merman. And I found him in the store too. I found him at Walmart. Thanos saying, I love him, but the fig just makes me smile now. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, for sure. You're talking about the vintage one, I think, or the Origins one. And then Oz is saying, I love the bright colors and vibrancy, but I love the vintage colors too. Yeah, man, absolutely. Love the vintage. I mean, honestly, it's tough, but if I had to pick, yeah, it would be really difficult for me to pick between these two. But I'm going to say I might just, if this house caught on fire and I had 5 minutes to dump some figures into a bag, I'd probably be grabbing this one. This one's amazing too. It would be really difficult. I don't even want to think about it. So yeah, Lords of Power Merman gave us what we wanted to see as kids, and I love it. I know that they gave us this head in the classics, the original classics release of Merman too, yeah, don't have that one anymore, but I do have this one, and I'm happy. And then, yes, well, yeah, Bobby would choose vintage too. Yeah, for sure. Eldor saying, I have the Loyal Subjects mini Merman figure and the Lords of Power Origins, Revelation, and Super 7 vintage offerings also. Yeah, the vintage, the Super 7 like 5.5 Filmation style one. I don't know why I didn't feel the urgency to get it. And then the revelation, there's something about him. And I know we love Kevin Conroy, and absolutely got a deep love for that actor. But the design just didn't quite do it for me. I don't know what it is. It's missing something. If they would have given him, I think it would have been really cool if they would have given him this design in the Revelation cartoon. It's something we haven't really seen in animated form yet. I know they kind of inched into that territory a little bit, but not quite. The orange and green do work quite well. And Oz is saying, I'm with you on this one for sure, Bobby. Vintage in the event of a fire for sure. Yeah. Okay, what brings me to Bobby, because oh wait, not yet actually. Sorry, Bobby. Hold off, because I did get this one first. I did get this one recently. It was $3.48 on Amazon. I could not resist it. Inspired by the toy Funko Pop Merman, and I couldn't resist it. He's got the green belt there too. But yeah, I $3.48 on Amazon Prime. Funko Pop. This is the one I got just before Bobby sent me the Loyal Subjects. Just as Eldor was talking about this, he has this one. Now I do too. And if you watch this channel, you know that this is one that I also got rid of not too long ago and immediately regretted getting rid of him. I had him as part of a trade and I got rid of him. He was in a bag of toys that I traded some other stuff for. And in fact, I think he's part of the trade. He was part of the trade that I may have gotten this. I don't know if you can see it, but my vintage Jabba the Hutt. If you go back and watch my channel, I think he was part of that. Yeah, I'm so. It's like Bobby was reading my mind in hearing my regret in the ether, and so he sent this to me. I really love this figure. There's something really special about this little guy. Love Merman. So Merman, I played a lot with Merman as a kid. I was lucky enough to have him. He was in fact, of the core villains. I had Merman, I had Triclops, and I had Stinkor, and I had Webstore as a kid. Oh, and of course Trapjaw too, right? But Evelyn, Beastman, and Skeletor were like, maybe again, like I've said before, I probably elevate my love for those characters because I had sort of like a real desire to have them and as a kid and never got a chance to. But Merman, I played a lot with him. And then when Stinkor came out, they were always buddies. They were always buddies because they looked like they're the same mold. So they looked like, I pretended they were related in some ways. Stinkor was the merman of land and Merman was the merman of the sea. Largo's Lair says, Merman's weird corncob looking sword has always been a point of contention. Yeah, for others, I love it though. It's really, it's supposed to be a swordfish, or no, a sawfish nose. A sawfish nose. But because Mattel was trying to cut corners on the mold, you have the sawfish on the inside, and you have this plastic sort of frame around it. So yeah, I love it. It does look like a corn cob. It looks like somebody's mouth if they've lost some teeth. But I love this sword. I love how weird it is. I love that it looks like a corn cob. It's very cool. And of course it's yellow, which doesn't help, right? And Eldor saying the pop, yeah, he's great. I think you can get this guy for a pretty good deal right now. Maybe I got him, I think 2 months ago. And hey, My Buddy's Customs is here. Yeah, I know it would have been great if at least one of these could have come with a trident, right? I mean, that it doesn't make sense that they didn't allow him to have that. Perhaps Lords of Power would have been great with a trident because he looks most like you know, the 2000X Mike Young Productions Merman, for sure. That design really took a lot from the card back art, and that's another figure too. The 2000X Merman that I did part with at some point in a trade, and I regret that too. But I do have a 2000X Merman package on card with Beastman inside, which is one of my favorite pieces in my collection. Oh, did an ad just pop up? I'll have to check the settings on that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, folks, if an ad just popped up. Yeah, that's part of the monetization. That's for sure. I think I can control that, but sorry about that. So yeah, Merman, folks. In the comments down below after this video is done, which will be in just a couple of minutes, feel free to share your Merman stories. When did you first get a Merman? Why do you like Merman? Why do you not like Merman? I'm really interested in your stories too. And as you know, as you might know, I don't know if you know yet or if you've missed me talking about this, but the Weekly Weirdo episodes are intended for me to take some time and talk about the figures in my collection that I don't want to part with, that I feel carry a kind of resonance with me. And there's a reason why they're in the collection. And it's my opportunity to talk about this, you know, take a moment and appreciate what I do have. I think that one of the greatest plights of any collector is sometimes we feel like there's so much out there that we want to get. And it's important to remember what you have and appreciate what you have, because we're all very lucky to have toys in our collection if we are toy collectors. And Oz saying, I believe you can say to have them at beginning or end. Oh, as far as the ads, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's why I do these weekly weirdos. I'm glad I got around to Merman today. I've just had he's been on my mind. I've been thinking a lot about water, hoping for more rain, and hoping for fall to bring some of that cooler weather, perhaps. And thank you, Eldor. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you all for watching today. Pop Actors here. Which one is Merman again? That's hilarious. That's hilarious, Rick. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you tuning into these weekly weirdos. It's a way for me to show appreciation for what I have and take a moment and meditate on the stuff that exists behind me here. But yeah. Oz saying favorite Merman moment was him cleaning the ramstone on Beastman in 2000X. Yeah, I want to say that even though Merman has often been kind of a bumbling henchman, all the henchmen are bumbling and a little bit idiotic. I do enjoy Merman from the 2000X Mike Young Productions cartoon. He's a complicated character in that one, and I like that. I like that a lot. I feel like if Merman shows up again in Revolution, I don't know how they're going to do that with Kevin Conroy having passed away. But if he does show up again and they get an actor to emulate that voice, I hope they give him a little bit more of that gurgly voice, though. That was something that I missed. I love from the Filmation cartoon. And then I can't really do it very well, but I hope that they give him a little bit of that, and I hope that they give him a bit more of a chance to be cool, to be an awesome character. Anyways, folks. Oh, and I also hope that they put him in a movie if they make a Masters movie, but that's probably never going to happen. But I just want to say thank you all for being here. Thank you to the folks that are patrons of this channel. I really appreciate your patronage. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon of this channel, a member of this channel, you'll get a smaller painting, something in this style, not this big, but you know, a good sized little portrait of a character if you become a Patreon. I'd be happy to make one for you. You get to pick the character. And if you haven't gotten yourselves a Toy Frenzy item of merchandise, there's a bunch of stuff down there in the link below to choose from. So, oh, look, Adam's here. Yes, great to see you, Adam. Thanks for showing up. I'm just closing up shop, but yes, thank you all so much for being part of this today. I really appreciate you all. Everybody, as Bobby is saying here, have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy it while it lasts, and I hope you have a great week. Now it's time for the long goodbye. Thank you all for being